If you're a pressure washing or exterior cleaning business and you still think that an SEO company cranking out 4 blogs a month on your website is going to help your SEO, this video is for you because I'm going to say the quiet part out loud. Most of the blogs on exterior cleaning websites are hurting their rankings and not helping them, and I see it on website audits that I do every single week. You've got a blog tab with 30 to 50 blogs. You got topics like the 8 benefits of pressure washing and why curb appeal matters, and you're still not ranking any better, and you're paying for activity and not results. And by the end of this video, you'll know why blogging for the sake of blogging stopped working back in 2022 when Google rolled out the helpful content update system, the 3 ways bad blogs drags down your entire website, and exactly what to blog about instead using your own call recordings and customer questions. And I'll show you these examples over my shoulder so you can see what this looks like in real time. When our clients ask us, Jonathan, how come you haven't blogged for us every single month? I always ask them this one question. I always say, when was the last time you bought something from a blog? And guess what reaction I get? They pause, they think, and then they finally say, I don't remember the last time I've done that. And I always say, that's the exact point. Because if your transmission blows up in your work truck, you're not going to go to the mechanic's blog. You're going to click on their service page that is talking about transmission repair. And it's the same thing with your customers. When they're ready to buy your service, they're going to click on a service page, not a blog. The blog's job is to not make Google think that we're busy. It's to go ahead and answer specific questions that real customers are typing into Google and AI. And the funny thing is, Google tells you exactly what to do and what not to do. Let me go ahead and show you guys. Here's Google's own guideline for creating helpful, reliable, people-first content that is going to go ahead and rank. Now, I'm not gonna go over every single thing on this page, and I'll put the link to this in the description below. But what I do wanna go ahead and focus on is the main thing that I see with blogs and what's hurting it. Number 1, avoid creating search engine first content. And underneath that, it says, are you producing lots of content on many different topics in hopes that some of it might perform well in search results? Basically what this means is, are you working with an agency that's just cranking out 10 different blogs every single month hoping that your rankings are going to get better? That's in fact going to hurt your website. It says, are you using extensive automation to produce content on many topics? And so what a lot of agencies will do is they'll just spin up your content. And when they spin up your content, that means that they might write one blog on like the benefits of pressure washing and then spin it up in 8 different ways. And what that's basically doing is summarizing what others have to say without adding much value. And so that is what happens whenever you are blogging and it's not adding any value and you're just blogging for the sake of blogging, because it will actually hurt your website more than it will help it. So here are 3 ways bad blogs hurt your exterior cleaning website. And reason number 1 is going to be volume for the sake of volume. You or your SEO vendor or company pumps out blogs just to hit a quota. None of them are tied to real keyword demand, real customer questions, or even real buying journeys. And so it looks busy on paper, but it does nothing in the real world or on Google. And the second thing that I see is that blogs compete with the actual service pages, and I call that cannibalization. And it can create redundancies and can hurt your site overall, which let me go ahead and show you an example of what that looks like. So if you look at this business right here called Shine Window Cleaning, and sorry for calling you out, but I'm gonna go ahead and use this as an example. If I go to their blog section right now, they have a lot of blogs. They have 8 pages or more of blogs that they have on their website. So 8 pages. And what I found is that a lot of these pages are competing with their actual other pages. So for example, they have blogs just called House Power Washing Near Me or Local Power Washing. And these are things that, guess what? Their pressure washing page is trying to target as well. And it goes back to the helpful content update. What customer is going to look at this and get value from this? No customer is going to go ahead and get value. So it's just the sake of blogging just to blog. blog at that point. And they have a lot of different blogs on here that are doing the same exact thing. The benefits of professional window cleaning services, best power washing siding, window cleaners. They're just literally just regurgitating. This says window cleaning service. So they had a blog that said window cleaners. Now here's a blog called window cleaning service. Then now they have these residential power washing services near me. So they keep having these near me, like house pressure washing near me, pressure washing business near me. And so these are all redundant. Pressure washing companies near me. And it's like, what value are these blogs adding? These blogs aren't adding any value to this business or to their customers at all. So this is what you want to go ahead and avoid whenever you're creating blogs on your website. And lastly, the third thing is that bad blogs will drag down the entire helpfulness of your website. Because if half your content only exists because your SEO package includes 4 blogs a month, then Google's going to see a pattern and they're going to say things like, well, this site publishes for rankings, not for people. And once you get classified as that, it gets a lot harder for you and your really good content to stand out. So if blogs aren't for just looking busy, what are they actually for? And there's 2 things. The first is going to be answer engine optimization, which people call AEO. And the second is going to be building trust before your service pages even show up. And you're probably wondering, what the hell is AEO, Jonathan, and answer engine optimization? Basically, what it is write the best, clearest answer to a specific question so Google and AI models want to use your content in search summaries and reference it. So here's an actual example from one of our clients. And so we wrote a blog on how much does roof cleaning cost in Orlando, Florida, as you guys can see right here. And guess what? AI overview on Google actually picked it up and they actually cited our client, as you can see right here. They also ranked number 1 for this also. So if I click on this blog and I actually see, we broke this down, right? So we have a table of contents and we broke everything down about roof cleaning that we could because we wanted to make it as helpful as possible. You see, this isn't 2,000, 3,000 words where it's like an encyclopedia, and there's also enough content where it is readable for people. And then we answer the question immediately. Instead of burying it under other content, we answer the question right here. We say, if you're wondering how much does roof cleaning cost, the answer depends on several key factors. Orlando roof cleaning prices typically range from $300 to $1,400, with most homeowners paying around 30 cents to 40 cents per square foot. Right there in the first 2 sentences, we talk about that. So we're providing the answer and we're making it easier for systems like Google's AI overview to pick up this information. And this even leads to leads. Like right here in this client's dashboard that we have for them, they've actually in the last 30 days, because at the time of this filming, it's May, in the last 30 days, they've actually gotten leads from this. As you can see, where the landing page of where they got the lead from, it was from the what? From the blog that we did about how much roof cleaning cost. So this is how you want to go ahead and be blogging, because this will definitely bring you leads and it will also help the authority of your website. So how do we decide what to blog about? Because this is where most agencies wing it and we don't. We use 3 inputs. So the first input is going to be call tracking and AI summaries. For all of our clients, every single call is tracked and summarized by AI. So we can literally see customers ask about how often they should get a service or how much a service costs. And when we see the same question over and over again, we know that's a blog topic, because now we know real wording customers use, real objections, real confusion. So when we're writing about the blog post, we're not guessing, we're documenting so that we can have the most comprehensive and helpful content out there. And that's going to go ahead and create credibility for that business, and credibility also helps it rank better on Google, because Google will trust that business more and they know that they'll have that real world experience and knowledge. And the second input that we use is the people also ask section on Google. So if we were to type in a particular keyword or search terms that customers are always frequently using, we see what people also ask, because this section is what Google uses to comprise all of the different questions that people have centered around this keyword. So as you guys can see, most of it's about pricing, right? What is the the best price for window cleaning? How much is it to get windows cleaned? How much do you pay someone to clean your windows? How much does it cost to clean windows in Florida? And this is all just from the window cleaning Orlando keyword. This is how we're able to create content that people are asking about, and that will be helpful to them as well. And the third input's gonna be the gaps that service pages don't usually cover, because your service pages should answer what you do, how you do it, where you do it, how much it costs, and why they should choose you as a service. And then your blog's gonna pick up when and how often, certain edge cases such as what if my roof has solar panels on it, and then there's gonna be comparisons such as soft wash versus pressure washing stucco siding, and then deeper cost breakdowns. So if your blog topic doesn't fall into one of those, just go ahead and skip it, because it will probably hurt you more than it will help you. So here's the rules I use with my team and clients about blogging. Rule number 1, every blog must come from a real question, whether that's a call summary, a sales conversation, or people also ask. If you can't point to the question, you can't write the post. Rule number 2 is going to be 1 question per post. I don't try to stuff 12 different questions and answer 12 different ones on a 500-word blog. I make it the definitive answer to one thing. Rule number 3, we show our experience. Use your photos, your own exact numbers, your city names. That is what you want to go ahead by showing your experience. Rule number 4, link directly to the relevant service page and city pages. So blogs attracts and educates. And so since it's going to attract people and drive traffic, what you want to do is you want to have internal links that will also link to your service page just in case they want to check that out. And then rule number 5 is quality over quantity. So a 3 to 6 killer posts a year can outperform 30 fluffy ones. And if a vendor is promising you a certain amount of blogs every month, ask them which questions they're answering and where that data is actually coming from. So if I was an exterior cleaning business that had blogs on my website, I'm doing 3 things this weekend. First, I'm opening up my blog and I'm just going to be honest. Like, how many posts are irrelevant, like the benefits or the importance of, that's just fluff. If they don't answer a real question, I'm going to archive them or plan to rewrite them. Number 2, what I'm doing is I'm pulling the last 30 to 60 days worth of calls and I'm writing down every repeated question about price, frequency, risk, or process. And I'm going to go ahead and make a plan to write that into a blog. And then the third is I'm going to simply go into Google and play around with the people also ask for our main services. So I'm going to look at our main keywords that we're trying to target. I'm going to look them up, look at the people also ask, and I'm going to record those. And I'm going to add any good questions to that list for future blogging purposes. And those are the 3 things I would do immediately after watching this video if I have a blog. If you want help shortcutting this process, I do something called a lead flow acceleration session. And on that call, I'll pull up your site live, show you which content is helping versus hurting, and map out 3 to 5 blogs, topics that will actually move the needle for your market. And if it makes sense, we can talk about even working with each other. And if not, you will still walk away with a clear content game plan instead of 4 random blog posts every single month. And the link to that call is in the description below. Also, if you have any questions, concerns, thoughts, or comments about your website or your blog, leave them in the comment section below, as I'm the one that personally answers every single question that you may have. And so thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I'll definitely see you guys in the next one.